Run as fast as you can, but nobody can catch me because I'm the Gingerbread Man.
Run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man. It sounds like a harmless childhood nonsense, a playful rhyme, a laughing biscuit with legs. But this story may be remembering something far older, a memory of sacrifice, a whisper from a world where bread was sacred and food could live. This isn't just a fairy tale, it's a myth, a creation story, a warning, and its roots stretch back more than 3,000 years. Welcome to KIDMORTEM. Before we uncover what the Gingerbread Man is really hiding, let's begin with the version you think you know. Once upon a time, an old woman and an old man lived alone in a quiet cottage. They had no children, only each other, and the days passed slowly. One morning, the old woman decided to bake something special. A little man made of gingerbread. She gave him raisin eyes, a sugar smile, and buttons made of candy. She placed him in the oven and waited. But when she opened the door, he jumped out, alive. "Run! Run! As fast as you can!" he cried. "You can't catch me. I'm the Gingerbread Man." He fled into the garden. The old woman screamed. The old man gave chase, but the Gingerbread Man only laughed. He met a pig rooting in the mud. "Stop," said the pig. "Let me eat you." But the Gingerbread Man ran faster. "I've run away from the old woman. I've run away from the old man. And I can run away from you too." On through fields and hedgerows he raced. A cow tried to stop him, then threshers in the fields. Each time he boasted, each time he escaped, until he reached a river. For the first time, the Gingerbread Man stopped. He couldn't swim. That's when the fox appeared, sleek, smiling, patient. "Climb onto my back," said the fox. "I'll carry you across." As the water deepened, the fox said, "Onto my neck, then onto my nose." And with a snap of his jaws, the fox tossed the Gingerbread Man into the air and swallowed him whole. The end, or so it seems. The Gingerbread Man feels modern, but when it first appeared in print in 1865, the editor of St. Nicholas magazine noted something important. The story had already been old. A servant girl from Maine told it to his children, and she said she'd learned it from an old woman when she was a child. In other words, this tale was already ancient by the time anyone bothered to write it down, and it wasn't alone. Across Europe, stories of runaway food appear again and again. In Slavic folklore, there's Kolobok, a living bread roll who escapes his makers, sings of his cleverness, and is eventually eaten by a fox. In Scotland, it's a runaway oatcake. In Norway, a pancake. In Germany, baked dough leaps straight into waiting mouths. Different lands, same story. Food is created, food comes alive, food rebels, food is eaten. Why? Because this isn't about biscuits. It's about creation and defiance. In Genesis, humanity is shaped from dust and given breath, then falls by trusting the wrong voice. In Greek myth, Pandora is moulded from clay, gifted life, and doomed by curiosity. In Mesopotamian myth, humans are formed from earth and divine blood, then destroyed when they grow too loud, too numerous, too defiant. Creation, rebellion, punishment. And in the Gingerbread Man, that pattern survives, a being shaped by human hands, given life, who flees his creator, boasts of his freedom, and is destroyed. But why food? Because to ancient people, food was never just food. In Celtic belief systems, everything had a spirit: rivers, stones, trees, and grain. Bread was alive. Harvest rituals across Europe treated grain as a living force. The final sheaf of wheat was believed to hold the spirit of the crop itself. It was shaped into a human form, a corn dolly, a barley bride, an old woman of the fields, and kept by the hearth through winter. But come spring, she had to die, burned, buried, broken, so the spirit could return to the earth and rise again. Life, death, resurrection. And suddenly, the gingerbread man isn't silly anymore. He's a spirit trying to escape his fate. Even the song matters. In ancient bardic traditions, sacred knowledge was preserved through chant and rhyme. Boasting refrains weren't jokes. They were declarations of survival. In Eastern European folktales, living bread cries, "They buried me, and I survived. They cut me down, and I survived. They ground me, baked me, and I survived." Until it doesn't, because pride always comes before the fall. And then there's gingerbread itself. Gingerbread men first rose to fame in the court of Queen Elizabeth I, who commissioned edible likenesses of her courtiers. But gingerbread also carried darker associations. In early modern Europe, food shaped like humans was feared. Witches were said to use edible effigies for curses. To pierce the figure was to wound the person. To burn it was to bring sickness. To eat it was to steal power. Some cities even banned certain moulded pastries when superstition was suspected. And long before gingerbread was candy, it was ritual. Medieval monks baked human-shaped breads as devotional icons. To eat them was an act of reverence. The bread became a body, and if that sounds familiar, it should. Because across ancient cultures, consuming a god wasn't metaphor. In Aztec rituals, gods were shaped from dough and blood, worshipped, then eaten. In Greek Orphic myth, the child god Zagreus is torn apart and devoured by titans. From their ashes, humanity is born, part divine, part damned. Vegetation gods died and rose with the seasons. To eat them was to share their power. Bread was God, and by eating it, humanity joined the cycle. So when we return to the gingerbread man, a living figure of dough, created, pursued, devoured, we are not looking at nonsense. We are looking at memory, the memory of humanity's oldest beliefs. Creation from earth, life given breath, pride punished, and the sacred act of consumption. A children's rhyme that remembers a time when food was alive and bread was divine. And if that unsettled you, wait until we talk about the princess and the pea and the 3,000-year-old secret hidden beneath a single mattress. See you in the next autopsy.